and blow you away with this one.
We have a very inconsistent body of work. We're hoping to add you to that. Go. What's your idea?
Okay. Now, I got the idea for you today, sir. The best idea you ever heard in the decade. This idea is going to be the best thing since Insidious: The Last Key. Going to be amazing. Going to be phenomenal. Those movies make so much money and they're terrible. This is going to be the next franchise that does that. Now here we go. It's called Truth or Dare. We have a group of friends.
Okay, now, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm seeing. Attractive, but very dumb. People like that. We at Bloomhouse, we like attractive, but not all. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we like. So, okay, go ahead.
So, group of friends, attractive but dumb. They're spring breakers. They're in college.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
What are the girls? Dead dad?
Oh, sure. Yeah, dead dad. Great. Yeah. Why? Okay, yeah, sure. Dead dad. Great.
Gotta have a dead dad.
Okay, dead dad. Fantastic. Group of friends, spring breakers, dead dad. Go to Mexico for spring break.
Okay, wait, let me stop you right there. Spring break. We're talking what here? We're talking girls in bikinis. We're talking a little bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. Alcohol.
Okay.
I like alcohol. They're in college. They drink like nothing.
Of course.
So we'll have alcohol, and yeah, this dude who finds one of the girls, the main girl, and leads them to a church. Now the church is cursed. They play
Cursed church. Let me stop you right there. What are we talking about? Judeo-Christian? Is it a mosque? Because that doesn't work for me. Okay, I don't want to offend any people. So what do you?
We can make it.
Bloomhouse is very peaceful.
Just general.
Just a general sort of.
Yeah,
this is a religious place.
Yeah, never find out.
But not putting a label on it. Okay.
Exactly.
See that?
Perfectly fine. It's going to be completely general. There's going to be literally nothing specific.
Vagueness is a big thing for us.
Okay.
We don't. Okay. Things with a lot of detail. No. That's just what I'm going to say. I'm not into it. I like to be very confused.
And here is the pièce de résistance. This is how we're going to get these monies. That's how we're going to do it. So, we take all of this together, we put it in a movie, and we call it Truth or Dare.
You know what? I could tell you we're into some weird stuff, and I love it. We're in business. Let's get this made.
Really?
We're in business.
You're gonna make Truth or Dare? Thank you. You will not be disappointed in Truth or Dare. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Movies only if you can promise me that it's going to be as terrible as it sounds.
Oh, it's gonna be the biggest piece of shit ever, but it's gonna make us money.
That's what it's all about.
This is Truth or Dare.
Scram.
Next big thing.
Get out of here. Don't you see we don't want you anymore?
I didn't tell my dad. Dad, I did it. Dad, I did it. Dad.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the season finale of Film Juice.
We're already
it's
here.
very sad.
We're very sad.
Yep. Wipe away your tears, and hopefully you will enjoy the show. We've got some very good movies to talk about this week, but before we get to them, we have to talk about a movie that Joe and I saw yesterday called Truth or Dare, and it was terrible. Joe, why don't you go ahead and explain? Go ahead and explain the plot of the movie for people who don't know.
Oh, that poster looks kind of cool. Too bad the movie sucked. So
Zing.
We
You got him.
I got him. So this movie is basically about this group of people, as I kind of explained in the short. This group of people who go to Mexico on spring break and get lured into this church. Now, they get lured into this church by this guy, and they play Truth or Dare. And he tricks them into playing Truth or Dare because here's the twist. Now they're stuck in this cursed game of Truth or Dare forever until they die. Or they, like, remove the curse or some crap like that. And the rules are if they don't follow the rules of Truth or Dare, if they break the rules or cheat, they die. And that is the entire premise of this movie.
And there's a demon also, which is not very well explained.
There's a Snapchat filter, a haunted Snapchat filter that they make fun of in the movie. They reference that it's a Snapchat filter.
Yeah. Yeah, so right away, so this movie, it's not super long. It's only an hour and 40 minutes.
It feels longer than Infinity War.
Yeah, by far.
And Infinity War is 2 hours and 40 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
That's terrible.
And
God.
within the first 10 minutes, Joe and I were sitting there and just like,
it's
only been 10 minutes. I mean, just immediately, the acting is terrible, which you might expect. The cast is headed by Pretty Little Liars actress Lucy Hale. She's okay. She's fine. She's okay.
She is okay.
But even the second lead, this character named Lucas, played by Tyler Posey, even he is just not good. The drop off is so just steep immediately.
It's so bad.
And the thing that we really want to get across about this movie, I think, is that, you know, sometimes you watch a bad movie.
Yes.
And it's okay because it's so bad it's funny.
Yes.
You know, you're watching it and you're like laughing because of how much this sucks.
Exactly.
But this movie is not even entertaining in that way.
This movie, as I like to call it, is nothing. It accomplishes nothing for the audience, and it's nothing. It is absolutely nothing. It is one of those movies you get nothing from.
Did you coin that phrase right here, Joe? I like to call it nothing.
This movie gets nothing from the audience.
Let me
it
explain.
Accomplishes
Let me
nothing.
explain what nothing means. Nothing, for those of you who don't know, means nothing. I'm sorry.
Thanks. I'm trying to make the point. This movie does nothing. It is nothing. It makes me feel nothing other than anger. You know what? It makes me feel anger. I hate this movie so much. It is so bad.
The thing is, there's just no entertainment value to it.
It's so boring.
And I felt pretty sick
so
leaving the theater. And it's not.
It's just
so the
not
script
good.
is pretty bad. As we said, the acting's
very
pretty
bad.
Even the lighting, I will say, is bad for the most part.
There was like one shot.
There was
where
one
I was
shot that was pretty looked
pretty
cool.
Yeah, that was it.
But most of it was just, I mean, so overexposed. The daylight coming through the windows.
Oh,
it was distracting.
Yeah, and let me just say, one of the worst intro sequences I've ever seen, ever. I hated it. It was the worst part of the movie for me. It was worse than the end.
You know, so what they did, we're talking about the cell phone thing.
Yes.
God. When movies do this thing, I'm sure you've seen it before. They'll like put in like a montage that looks, you know, of videos that look like they were taken on a cell phone. Like
we're on spring break.
Yeah, like that. And
God.
Every time you see one of those, it turns you off to the thing right away.
And this is why it didn't work. Because Spider-Man: Homecoming did it, and it did it well. And I'll tell you why.
But they didn't overutilize it in that movie.
And I'll tell you why this movie didn't do it well. Because they had like 3 different videos going on. There was like one at the side, one in the middle, what am I supposed to be looking at?
Spring break.
What is this?
It's a wild and crazy.
There was this one time where like the screen was super big over here and really tiny over here. What is this? Why?
A lot of things.
What are you thinking?
A lot of things didn't make very, very much sense. And
this movie makes me sad. It makes me sad.
And there's this whole, you know, we kind of touched on it. There's this whole, and almost the way, because this is from the same production company that did Happy Death Day, which we reviewed last season.
10 times better than this movie.
Absolutely.
And it's not a good movie.
Happy Death Day was not a great movie, but it was way better
way
than
better.
this.
At least it was entertaining.
Yes. It was.
That's
it was
all I can ask for this movie, and it's not.
And there's just no value
who
to it.
Who thought this premise was a good idea? I don't understand how this movie got greenlit. It's the same as Unfriended, that movie. How does a movie like
Which
that
again
get greenlit?
was the same
production company. I don't understand these people. What goes through their heads? This is the premise, truth or dare. That's it. They die if they don't play it. What?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, come on.
What, you think it's just lazy?
It's so lazy,
Yeah.
and it is so terribly
So
done.
nothing.
And it's one of those things where it's one of those things where I don't know how they could have even made this a good premise. That's why I don't understand how it got greenlit. Like, I don't know how this premise could have even worked in a good way.
The supernatural element to it comes out only in the last 20 minutes.
It's so
of the
bad and
movie.
cheesy.
It just
I'm
comes
a
out,
demon.
and then it just, and before that, it's never explained.
No.
That there's a demon. It might, you might be able to see some small ways that they allude to that.
Yeah.
But they never. The third act is like just super condensed.
Yeah. And I
it's
gotta say,
so bad.
The continuity error with this guy's name, Sam, Lucas and Sam.
Yes.
Yeah, Lucas and Sam.
No, not Carter.
Carter and Sam. They I can't even explain because it's so bad, but they had this big continuity error and they just went along with it in the movie. But anyways, it was terrible. Yeah. This is the worst movie I've ever seen this year, easily.
Yeah, probably this year. Definitely not.
No, not of all time.
Seen, but it's
worst movie this year.
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable. It's just not a good time.
Yeah, and you know what?
Ever.
None of the characters are likable.
I didn't care
not
about
a
any
single
of them.
one.
I don't know why we watch. Like, I was watching this movie and I'm like, why do we care? What is the point?
We didn't.
What
they
is
did
the
a
point of
terrible
any of
job
this?
of that.
Also,
this movie, if you want to know how not to use jump scares.
Oh my God!
Good
It wasn't even a horror movie. It was just a.
God,
I hated it.
Whatever.
It was just nothing.
So we
nothing.
both, we both
terrible
said
end.
that
One of the worst ends ever.
Oh, terrible ending.
God, the ending
Horrendous
was so
ending.
bad.
And
Snapchat
you know
filter
what?
was also terrible.
And I usually
Snapchat
like
filter
open-ended
the worst.
endings, but this was terrible.
Snapchat
So we've said
filter
that
was
we
terrible.
dislike it. Joe, final rating.
Given this movie, talking about this movie makes me want to rate it lower. It doesn't deserve this rating. This is a higher rating than I should
Yes, I think
give
both
this
of our
movie.
ratings are.
I should have given it lower than this. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10 film juice boxes. I hate this movie.
And I am going to give it a 2.5.
Do not ever see this movie.
And those are
There's
generous.
No reason to.
Well,
generous.
Yeah,
What's the point?
I mean,
if
there's
you
no
don't,
point
there's no
in seeing
enjoyment.
this movie.
You can't even laugh at it.
Yeah, if you don't like yourself, then feel free to watch
Yeah, I guess. If you have an enemy, tell them to watch it.
But anyways, we are going to be right back. We're going to be talking about Avengers Infinity War. Big movie, spoiler
Way
free.
better. Yeah, no spoilers.
Don't miss it.
No
We'll see you in a
spoilers.
couple minutes.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
You've messed up your son's haircut. Do you try to fix it? Work with what you've got? Or show solidarity?
Thank you, babe. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
Había un niño que era muy sensible a luces y sonidos. Construía escondites donde no podían entrar. No le gustaba mirar a la gente a los ojos. Lo hacía sentir incómodo. Un día se descubrió que tenía autismo. Con ayuda poco a poco aprendió a vivir mejor con ello.
Mientras más pronto se diagnostique, mejor. Conoce las señales en autismspeaks.org.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job.
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can. Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to Film Juice, everyone.
What's going on?
I'm Joe.
And I am Andrew Canada. We're your hosts. We're going to be talking
about
movie.
Great movie.
Very
Avengers.
highly anticipated. 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
We've both, along with millions of other people, waited an entire decade, almost half of your life.
Yeah.
Almost half of my life.
Yours. Avengers Infinity War.
Let's
go.
Infinity War.
Let's go. Can you wanna go
okay,
for it? Go for it. Because I might spoil you. I'm gonna try to keep my mouth shut for this whole thing.
I swear to God.
See, you go. Talk about this movie.
For those of you who don't know, this is what the whole MCU up to this point has been leading to. Starting with Iron Man in 2008, the Avengers. This is the third Avengers movie with all the Marvel superheroes, and it's on a scale like we've never seen before. There's a ton of heroes in this, and what happens is the Infinity Stones, which have been in the other films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, are now trying to, excuse me, a fella named Thanos, a terrifying warlord, is trying to collect these Infinity Stones so that he can become the most powerful being in the galaxy and destroy half the universe. And the Avengers, they're like, no, that's no good, so they try and stop
No,
him.
that's no good. Verbatim in the movie.
Yeah.
No, that's no good. There are actually funny lines in this movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if
There
that
are some really funny moments. I think that it picks up where Thor Ragnarok, which obviously
exactly
was
where it
not the last
left
one, but pretty much
off.
right where that left off, especially where Thor's character is concerned, because he's one of the best parts of this movie.
And I just want to say, without spoiling anything, this movie takes risks, and I love that. I was very worried when I was going into this movie for so long, because MCU is a very safe franchise, in my opinion. They do everything.
And I think a lot of people agree with
very safe. And that is why I've been recently getting a little sick of Marvel movies. I don't hate them. I don't hate them.
I know. You've talked to me about this.
I just get a little bored. So, I really enjoy, but I think they're enjoyable. But anyways, this movie, I was very worried they were just going to be very safe again. But this was the perfect opportunity for them to be dangerous, and they did it. They took the risks they had to take.
They put it all out there.
And it was great. It was fantastic. I felt real tension in this movie, and I felt on the edge of my seat, and I really did not know what was going to happen next. It was not predictable in the slightest, and that's why
it really wasn't.
This movie was really, really
It
good.
was, you said it. It was completely different from everything they've done. Not by the book at all.
No.
And it made it so much that more entertaining. It was already going to be very good. I mean, just the sheer excitement of seeing all of our favorite characters finally meet and come together. And also so something with that is the dynamics, the certain pairings off that they do in the movie.
Yeah.
The way some characters they put them together. Pretty much I would say all of them work on different levels just very well.
Yeah, like the thing about the movie is I think the reason why it works with this many characters, because they could have easily have accidentally pulled a Spider-Man 3, where they had too many characters.
And not enough, they didn't know how to balance
Exactly. And what they did with this movie was they balanced them perfectly by not having them all on, there's not one moment, and this is not spoiling anything, there's not one moment in this movie where they are all on screen together. There's not one moment where they're all together and they'll be like, hey, we're all here. There's not one moment where they're all in the same spot. Which I think is good for a few reasons, like how the movie goes and also how the next movie is going to go. I think it's really good that they did it like that. I really liked how they paced it like that. I think that's really worked with the movie.
Another thing it does that it does different from any other Marvel movie is We go so many different locations in this movie.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
cut all over the
4
place.
or 5, maybe 6.
But again, it's super well balanced. It's edited. It's cut together so well that you barely notice the transitions
It really
from you know this planet to this place over here, or wherever they go. Space.
Yeah, it is, and there are surprises in this movie that you like see, and that weren't revealed in the trailers. And God, it is so awesome to see something.
They did such a good job with the trailers.
They
and, like,
did.
keeping
They really did. I kind of wish some of the things weren't revealed in the trailers. For example, Iron Spider-Man, I wish they didn't show that in the trailer. I would have loved to see that for the first time in the theater. But
I thought it was still awesome.
But no, it was. It was still so awesome. But I wish that was just one of the things they didn't show. But they still have to make money, so. But no, it was just really good. Acting was amazing. Everyone did a great job. There was not one
Tom
week.
Holland.
Tom Holland.
He gives a hell of a performance.
I love Tom Holland. He is one of the best actors in the MCU, if not. No, Robert Downey Jr. is probably my favorite.
Well, Benedict Cumberbatch is a phenomenal actor.
He's probably. Yeah, they all do great. They all shine. And some people have complained, and I don't think it's the movie's fault, and they've mentioned it's not the movie's fault, but it's still a complaint. They complain that this movie doesn't give enough shine to some characters as others. But you gotta understand, this is a gigantic movie. This is probably the biggest. You've probably never seen a movie like this in your life.
The scale of it is just so grand.
Exactly. And so that's completely impossible. And I think they did it for what they had. They did a great job showing everyone. And they're not going to be able to appease everyone because everyone has a different favorite character, you know? Yeah. So they're not going to be able to do that. And I thought what they did was great.
Yeah, they did do a good job.
Let's talk about Thanos. This character is the best. This is Thanos' movie. Let's say that first.
Yes.
This is not the Avengers movie. This is, if they call this movie Thanos,
Josh Brolin as Thanos, we've been waiting for it forever.
He is the main character.
Boom,
he is the main character.
Phenomenal.
And he's amazing. And let me say, this is the best Marvel villain we've had. And let me say, it's not because we've had 10 years of buildup. It's not because we've had that long of buildup. No. It is because the way they show his motivation in the movie, you don't agree with him, but he thinks he's right. And when the villain thinks they're right, that's what makes the villain great. And the way we see his motivation and how he thinks, that is what you want to see in a villain.
They do a good job of showing that.
You want to see where he is coming from. You don't want to just have a villain that's like, I want to take over the world. That's nothing.
I want to. Yeah.
That is nothing. This guy does it perfect.
And what does nothing mean? Nothing.
And it's amazing. He did an amazing job, and I loved him as this character.
He was so, and I know you, and I'm sure you're not alone. You voiced to me several times, problems with previous Marvel villains.
Oh yes, of course.
But this, I mean,
Guardians of the Galaxy villain was terrible. Like Thor 2 villain. Like, who was he?
Nah, that was two perfect examples. Exactly. But Thanos, I mean, he's the villain that we've just always wanted.
I know.
And honestly, it's worth it. It's like, it's worth it.
And he delivered. We did
no doubt about
if
it.
we didn't have 10 years of build-up for this character, he still would have been amazing. Yeah. And that's why he's good. Yeah. We didn't need the 10 years of build-up. He was so good. But I loved how they did it. I liked how they made him basically the main character of the movie.
Yeah.
They really did.
It
was his movie. I thought that was awesome. And like, you feel bad for him at some parts, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and you shouldn't do that with a villain, but you do. It's kind of the same thing with Michael Keaton and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Right.
Those are definitely the two best villains.
Sympathetic villains, complicated villains.
And it was a great movie. They started out great. The pacing is great.
The pacing is phenomenal in this
movie. It's a very fast-paced movie. It is so fast-paced.
But it's balanced so well.
It's boom, boom, boom. It doesn't really let you breathe at all. But it's fine because it is a long movie. And since it's so long, like, it doesn't feel like it because of how fast
it goes by super fast.
2.5 hours.
And I can't wait to see it again.
It's good. And it's great. See it a million times. It's so good. Definitely my favorite Marvel movie ever. What would you rate this movie?
For me, 9.
You'd rate it a 9?
Yeah.
I'm going to rate it a 9 too. It's everything I wanted.
It was
it
so
really
cool. The only word to describe this movie is cool.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing ever.
I don't really know, like, you could nitpick a few things,
yeah.
but it's amazing.
All right.
There you go.
Definitely go check it out.
Please.
We are going to be right back with a great throwback 2003 movie, Holes. So stick around. We'll see you then.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
You've messed up your son's haircut. Do you try to fix it? Work with what you've got? Or show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
Había un niño que era muy sensible a luces y sonidos. Construía escondites donde no podían entrar. No le gustaba mirar a la gente a los ojos. Lo hacía sentir incómodo. Un día se descubrió que tenía autismo. Con ayuda, poco a poco, aprendió a vivir mejor con ello.
Mientras más pronto se diagnostique, mejor. Conoce las señales en autismspeaks.org.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job.
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates, our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can.
Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Great show.
Oh God, I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh my gosh, Joe. Well, welcome back to Film Juice.
Oh, I didn't sneeze. It's fine.
Our stage manager Jim told you we were coming in.
I know.
You knew.
I can't
you knew
control
we were
my
gonna be on
sneezes.
TV.
What am I gonna?
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. Joe is like the third grandmother that I never had. Pretty much. Anyways, let's talk about our throwback this week.
Amazing movie. We were gonna do it last week because it was its birthday last week.
Yeah, 10-year anniversary.
And it is, well, no, it's way more than 10 years.
Oh, I guess it's
You're
15
thinking about,
years.
You're
15
thinking,
years.
You're thinking
yeah.
about Iron Man.
Yeah.
It is Holes. The movie Holes with Shia LaBeouf, based off of the very popular book.
Yes. The popular book by Louis Sacher.
Yes.
However you say it. Who also wrote the screenplay for this movie. He adapted his own book.
That's really good.
I don't know if that's conceited or really
No,
cool.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like more people should
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
probably.
then you wouldn't have
Because they know
people
the
complain-
material.
Exactly. You wouldn't. I don't
And
know why
this
more
and
people
it
don't do
obviously works.
Yeah.
Because this is a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's entertaining for people of all ages.
Amazing cast. It is a star-filled cast. It's Shia LaBeouf's first big movie. Am I correct in that? I think it's his first big movie.
Well, I mean, it's still a Disney movie, and it was still on Even Steven. But it came out in theaters. It's not a Disney Channel movie.
Okay.
So I guess
I'd say it's
guess
his first
pretty
big
yes,
movie.
but
And it's still, this movie holds up. This movie, I guess let's talk about like what the movie is, I guess.
Okay,
Do you
go
wanna,
ahead and explain it.
Okay. Basically this movie, there's this kid, I'm bad with names.
Oh, his name? He has one of the greatest names in cinema history. His name is Stanley Yalnitz. the third. His last name is his first name
That's
spelled
what
backwards.
it is. Yes.
And that's incredible.
Yes. And it comes in the movie
Stanley
too.
Yelnats. Hey,
Stanley Yelnats the third. He gets framed, not intentionally framed, but he gets accidentally framed for stealing these shoes. These very expensive
His family
shoes.
has notoriously bad luck.
Yes, that's the whole thing. His family is notoriously bad luck, and basically what happens is he gets a sentence, and he is either asked to go to jail or like go to this camp or something like that. Yeah. So he decides to go to the camp, and this camp is all about digging holes. It's a child camp. And it's all about digging holes.
You make it sound like a child labor camp, which
it
it pretty
is.
much
No,
is.
it is. It
but
definitely
that's not,
is.
They call it something like to make it sound nicer.
Yeah, but it's a child labor.
But that's what it is.
It's a child labor camp where they all they do is dig holes, eat.
You got to dig one hole a day, 6 feet by 6 feet.
Yeah, and they think they're doing it to build character. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Why are we digging these holes? To build character.
Yeah, and Sigourney Weaver plays the owner of the camp, and her right-hand man is John Voight, who plays a character named Mr. Sir.
Amazing.
Which is a very interesting character.
And then basically, just to wrap up the summary, the people who are running this place have underlying motives of why they're having them dig holes.
Yeah.
And basically, they want to find this treasure that's been buried there forever.
Yep.
And now we got ourselves a movie. And
we certainly
let me say, amazing casts. I said
everybody
it before.
does. Everybody does a very good job.
Okay.
I don't know if I would say amazing, but they all do their job very well.
I think they all did a.
It's not like God's gift to film is watching these
Henry
people.
Winkler.
Henry Winkler's
gonna barely in the movie, and he's amazing. He's so funny, and he's barely in this movie.
Yeah.
When they smell the shoe, and he's like, "Oh, I don't smell nothing. I don't smell nothing. I don't smell nothing." You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
God,
about.
it's
you have so
good.
many impressions from this movie, but there are so many moments to reenact.
Twitch is amazing.
Twitch is a great character.
I love him. I love him. He's great.
The characters, even the smaller ones, are just really well written.
Yes.
Just well constructed.
And I gotta say, my favorite character in this movie is probably Sigourney Weaver's character. Because
this might be the most complex.
Yeah, and she's not in the movie very much, but man, she knows how to control a scene. And that's what she really does in this movie.
Yeah.
She controls the scenes. She does what Michael Shannon did in Shape of Water in this movie.
A little less intense,
yeah,
but okay.
Yes, yeah, I'm just saying,
all right.
When she gets the nail, the whole scene with her with the venom and the nails, that is dude, that is really good, for a kid's movie. That was a great moment. And let me say, that's why this movie is so good, because it is a kid's movie. It is, and it's so good still. It holds up. I gotta tell you one thing, the CGI, I watched this movie very recently.
Yeah,
the CGI
is not good.
Man, it is really bad.
They have these lizards, these very poisonous lizards
So
that go
bad.
around the camp, and when they jump and stuff, it's CG.
Well,
it's 2003.
No, I
Joe.
know, but when the lizards are actually in the movie, they're fine. But man, when
they're real,
because
they're real lizards.
But man, when they're fake, they're fake. They're real fake. It's very bad. But I mean,
luckily they don't use it too much.
Yes, that's definitely the worst part of the movie.
I find so there are a lot of flashbacks in this movie.
I was just gonna say, yes.
However, most of them do not involve any of the characters that we are following.
Yeah, and it's very interesting.
Which is strange.
Yes, and I thought I was gonna have an
Very
issue
different.
with it.
Yeah.
Because when I rewatched it, I was like, this is. I don't remember. I remember this being weird because it just comes out of nowhere. But it is very. I think it's important to know the backstory.
Oh, it is.
And
but
I think the way they
it's
do
just
it.
interesting that they just kind of
toss
it there.
I kind of like it because it paces the movie out very well for them not just because there is only so much that you can show of them digging holes. There's only so much.
Not
of
enough,
that.
if you ask me. What were you saying?
Great job. There's just they did not have. What was I saying? They didn't have to show holes the entire time, them digging holes. They showed different stuff, and that's why it was good. I thought it paced well with it. Also, the one character, God, what was his name? The love interest in the flashbacks.
Oh, the fella played by Dule Hill.
Yeah.
Phenomenal actor.
Great
mostly
job.
on television shows from The West Wing and Ballers.
Most charming character ever. God, charming as
Dule
hell.
Hill. He nails it.
Oh my
He's
God.
The perfect choice for
I
that.
can fix that.
Don't say that to me ever again, please.
So, I loved his character. I loved the flashback scenes for it, and it's really tragic. And I think it's good that they showed that whole storyline.
You know what? And you mentioned
really
earlier
adult,
it's a kids
too.
movie, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of adult
That's a
themes,
really adult
which I
theme.
think is important. If you look at certain kids movies, the one that always comes to mind for me is Bridge to Terabithia, because that's a very intense movie, but it's for children. You haven't seen Bridge to Terabithia?
I might have seen it.
Well, it's a very intense movie. It deals with some very dark themes, but it's a kids movie, and I think that it shows kind of, as strange as it might be to say, it shows that whoever is making this movie respects the kids who are of the age that are going to watch this.
Yes,
you know
they
what I
do.
mean?
They really do.
It's just, it felt good watching it as a kid
They
to
really
like
do.
be able to understand that.
Yes.
And it's just nice to
And
see.
let me say, this movie is so funny. This movie's hilarious.
It's got a lot of funny
oh
parts.
my God.
My personal favorite is Armpit, played by Brian Conn.
The
Love that
Mr.
guy.
Sir, love Mr. Sir.
Very
when they find out his name's Nancy, or Sally, is it?
It's a weird.
It's a
it's
girl
a weird
name.
Scene.
It's really funny, and I love it. He's my favorite, and my favorite part of this movie, I gotta mention it, when the little girl says, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. And then the old guy goes, well, that's too damn bad. And I love
Classic
that scene.
scene.
It's
Very
so
classic
good.
scene.
It's an amazing scene.
Keeping that incredible scene in mind, Joe, what's your rating for this?
I'm going to rate this movie a 9 out of 10 film.
That's pretty big.
Juice box.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's completely fair. I think this movie just held up so well, and it's very nostalgic.
Definitely does.
And I miss Shia LaBeouf. That's what I got from watching this movie.
He's
I
still
miss him.
alive.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything like
He
very
does
great
weird
anymore.
art stuff all the time, and
Yeah.
it's super weird and really cool to watch.
Yeah,
'cause
I
it's,
know.
like,
I want him just to
crazy.
be kid Shia LaBeouf again.
Wow, you're one. Wow, I'm sure he doesn't appreciate that.
I'm sure he would tell me to.
Probably.
You know.
Anyways, everybody, we appreciate you watching this season. We have to thank, of
Season
course,
finale.
our crew and everybody on it in the control room for helping us out. And, of course, everybody watching.
I'm shooting at all of you.
My gosh.
All of the amazing crew we got. Shooting
All right,
at you.
everybody. This is the last.
And everyone who's watching, yeah, thanks everyone who's been watching. You said it too.
I did say it again.
And it's going to be sad without a summer of doing this. But we're going to be back next semester, so it's going to be all good.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody,
Take care.
for
We'll see you
watching.
next time at the movies.
The Juice.